The Pokemon Company and Game Freak have been doing some very weird things recently, very odd choices. We've had tons of concerning leaks, concerning news and rumors, all surrounding Pokemon wins and waves. One of those things being the next trailer, and we have more on that in this video specifically, so definitely recommend watching this whole video because we're going to be talking about all the juicy stuff. And as far as that next Pokemon Presents goes, I feel like it could just be a very small one, you know? They totally could just update us. They could give us an update with another trailer for wins and waves, because apparently the rumor on the street, the leak on the street is saying that the game is complete content wise. So if that's the case, why are we not going to be getting another trailer or some sort of big Pokemon Presents announcement this year specifically for Pokemon wins and waves? Well, what if the teraleak is the reason for that? What if because the teraleak was an insanely huge leak that actually changed the entire marketing strategy for Pokemon, because the teraleak was completely different compared to a regular just Pokemon leak. So now, I did say we're not going to be getting any more news or trailer, whatever, for the rest of the year from wins and waves, which is probably going to be true. However, that doesn't mean we can't get leaks. We are still going to be getting leaks. We're still going to be getting rumors and stuff from all of the reputable sources out there. We got many people out there at this point that are giving us information, honestly, pretty frequently. Stuff is happening every single day, every single week. But a lot of the times, these huge leaks for companies can actually make them more secretive. The teraleak told us that basically wins and waves is huge. It's a crazy game. But if anything, I would make the claim that the teraleak is part of the reason why this game is so hyped up. I swear, everybody has seen it. People know what was in the teraleak. Also, quick side note before we get to the rest of the video, please subscribe to the channel. Help me reach our goal of 50,000 subscribers. We are getting so close, guys. All right, let's get back to the video. Nintendo, honestly, as a whole, in general, has become very secretive recently. Like, no Nintendo Direct, there's nothing planned at the moment, which we probably will be getting one. But Nintendo, the Pokemon Company, they've been very quiet. It's just odd to me because it's the 30th anniversary, and we were told that it's basically going to be year-round announcements, which is true, but we kind of thought that would be year-round big announcements rather than, having everything huge be released in the first couple of months of the year, like Pokopia, Pokemon Champions, Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green ports. So now the rest of the announcements and, information for the rest of this year is going to be kind of boring in a way. And now I know that sounds really stupid to say, like low-key that is kind of dumb to say, but I mean, think about it. We're just going to get the typical normal announcements that we would always be getting, regardless if it's a 30th anniversary or not, such as, new TCG cards, the TCG Pocket app, Pokemon Go, little minor updates and events for Pokopia and stuff, which is a fun game. I do be loving Pokopia. Obviously, the game is coming out in 2027. Shorter marketing cycles are the norm nowadays. I don't know what happened with gaming and movies, but I swear these companies hate marketing things way before the actual release of whatever, the thing is. Video game, a movie, like I just said, whatever. It is kind of weird how companies kind of mass promote stuff about 1 to 3 months before the actual thing releases, which is good. Obviously you got to get that like peak hype, but the thing is, this is Pokemon we're talking about, the world's biggest media franchise, and it is the biggest one by a landslide too. So I think no matter what they do, it's still going to be hyped up. And I swear they would actually be more successful with this game if they do hype it up this year throughout next year. Now, the second trailer, let's talk about that. It doesn't have to be huge. It does not have to be a big, insane, huge reveal kind of trailer. It can just be something pretty simple. Like the first trailer was obviously huge because it was our first time even seeing the region. But the thing is, it did reveal some new stuff such as the starter Pokemon, obviously new graphics and, characters and stuff. But we don't know much more than that. And honestly, that's all we really need from the second trailer too, because if they don't really want to start mass promoting this game until the next Pokemon Day of 2027, which is a very long ways away, we can still get a little update. We know that apparently the first trailer of the game is actually just one island, just the first island of the game, which is crazy because this map is going to be huge, guys. Let me say that map is going to be crazy. It's going to be a huge game. So there are tons of other islands. So the second trailer could show off another island, like something kind of less hype, I guess you could say, even though anything they reveal is going to be hype. They simply could just release one new Pokemon, maybe the legendary Pokemon, maybe even just a new character, some gym leaders. Anything would be really cool to see in the second trailer because the stakes are kind of lower with that. The first one has to be pretty big. And of course, on Pokemon Day of 2027, and that has to also be a very big trailer because it's Pokemon Day. So they probably will reveal some crazy stuff during that actual trailer. But like I said, the game is apparently finalized, like pretty much all the way done. They're just kind of doing polishing touches to the game, if that makes sense. That's basically what they're doing at the moment, according to sources out there. We also know that the game was originally going to be, well, first of all, 2025, but mainly 2026. That was like the big year it was supposed to come out, and they recently changed it to 2027, a little bit before the first trailer. So they must have had an entire marketing plan for this entire year. So that has probably all been scrapped. They're probably reworking the complete marketing of this game from the ground up, and they definitely have enough stuff to show off, to show publicly. Like, without a doubt, you cannot convince me that they don't. They definitely have some stuff. And the thing is, sure, maybe being silent is kind of a marketing strategy in itself, because I'm making a whole video about it, about just where is the second trailer, like why is it not happening? Because many people are thinking that because of the teraleak, maybe that's the reason. Like, maybe Game Freak is kind of, I guess you could say, punishing us in a way and telling us, yo, basically, you guys already know way too much. We're not going to be giving you a second trailer because why would we? But then on the other hand, like the other side of that same coin, you could also make the argument, well, yeah, we do already know a lot. Stuff is gonna leak, and stuff will continue to leak if they don't show it off. So they're low-key risking more leaks happening, because the more they don't show means the more we can have leaked, if that makes sense. Fans are all over the place though, because we want to know how the game looks and how it really performs. I mean, we know how it looks, of course, but I mean like more so in the official sense, in the finalized sense, because we don't want this game to have, you know, bad performance. We want it to be a pretty new experience and a fun game. But a lot of fans are burned out, they're impatient, they're frustrated with it. And I know you could say leaks hurt hype cycles, but at the same time, in a lot of cases, depending on what it is, especially something like this, I feel like the leaks actually have hyped it up more. Same with Legends ZA. We had tons of Mega Evolution leaks for that game, and I swear it hyped up the game like crazy, because those are the type of leaks where it doesn't really reveal anything about the storyline. Like, I'm not a huge fan of storyline leaks because I want to enjoy the story, you know, myself. Same goes with big movies. Like, if it's, you know, let's just say use a Marvel movie, for example, a lot of people like to spoil the storyline, or of course, like, spoil it for people when the movie just drops, but that's no fun. Both have like the Mega Evolution leaks for ZA. I mean, sure, some people don't want to see the designs, and that is totally understandable. But for the most part, as far as those Mega Evolution leaks go, we didn't have any leaked photos up until like, you know, a week or two before the game's full release. Maybe even earlier, but pretty much a majority of those leaks were literally just description leaks. It was kind of all up to your imagination. So those were fun leaks because it was like, yo, we're getting Mega Embor, and it looks like this. So all of us could just assume, you know, what it looks like based on our own imaginations. Nintendo as a whole have announced that they are going to be kind of delaying release schedules for games so they can make them better. And that's exactly what they're doing with Winds and Waves, because it's the first ever 5-year gap in between a Pokemon generation ever, which is great. It is kind of odd though to think that we're about 17 months out from this game being fully released, and apparently they are completely done with the game, except for just doing kind of the last finishing touches, if that makes sense. Like just optimizing the game, probably frame rate stuff, you know, glitches, bugs, whatever. Probably people testing the game out to make sure random stuff doesn't happen or make sure everything works correctly. But still, I feel like they should take that extra time to make the game overall still better. But hey, I don't know. I haven't played it, so maybe it is an amazing game. Overall, I'm optimistic, and even if we don't get another trailer this year, I'm still hyped for the game, and I still am very excited to be getting the next trailer, because that's always fun. That is always so fun. So what do you guys think? Do you think all of the leaks and the teraleak are big factors into why we haven't had more updates, more information, or may not be getting another Pokemon Presents? Or do you think that that stuff doesn't really matter to Game Freak, and you think that they are just doing this because the game is coming out next year, so they want that hype cycle to be a little bit different, which, you know, is kind of odd, but at the same time, it does make sense. But anyway, if you guys are a real one watching this far in the video, comment down below coffee, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.